Your main character just got destroyed, beaten badly, humiliated. They're lying on the ground realizing they're nowhere near strong enough. And now, the story needs them to get stronger, fast, but not so fast that it feels fake. Welcome to the training arc, one of the most beloved and recognizable structures in shonen storytelling, and one of the hardest to write without feeling like a copy of all the others. In this video, we'll break down exactly how to write a training arc that makes the audience feel every bit of your character's growth, so that when your character finally levels up, nobody questions whether they earned it. Let's start with the foundation. A training arc isn't really about the training. It's more so about the transformation. Nobody watches a character do push-ups for 10 chapters because they're genuinely fascinated by exercise routines. They watch because they want to see who the character becomes. The physical training is just the mechanism that they use to transform. The real arc is internal. It's about what the character learns about themselves, what limits they break through mentally, and what they're willing to sacrifice to reach the next level. If your training arc is just character practices technique, gets better, wins next fight, you've written a montage, not a real story arc. The reader doesn't care about reps and drills. They care about moments where the character is forced to confront a version of themselves they don't like. The training needs to challenge the character emotionally and psychologically, not just physically. The body gets stronger because the mind changes first. The first step is to establish the gap. Before the training starts, the audience needs to feel the gap between where the character is and where they need to be. It's specific. They need to beat a specific opponent or master a specific ability. Or the real problem is a limitation that was exposed in a fight they already lost. The gap has to feel enormous, insurmountable even. The audience should be looking at the distance between point A and point B and thinking, how is this character possibly going to close that gap? That doubt is what makes the payoff hit later. If the gap is small, the training feels unnecessary. If the gap is huge, every step forward feels like a victory. The gap also needs to be personal. It shouldn't just be about power levels. The character might freeze under pressure and need to learn how to stay calm when everything is falling apart. Or they rely on one technique and need to become more versatile. Their problem might not be physical at all, but a mental block, a fear, a trauma, a limitation they've been carrying since before the story started. The more personal the gap, the more the audience invests in watching it close. One thing that makes the gap hit harder is showing the consequences of not closing it. Don't just tell the audience the character needs to get stronger. Show them what happens if they don't. Put the cost of inadequacy right in front of the camera so the audience can't look away. A teammate who gets hurt because the hero wasn't strong enough. A mission that fails because the hero hesitated when they should have acted. A preview of the cost of staying at their current level of strength. When the audience has seen the price of failure, the training feels like survival, not homework. One of the best ways you can show a gap in your story is to use a more experienced character. Maybe a future mentor swoops in and saves the hero and their group during a crucial moment and reveals their true power. The protagonist and the audience get to see a character fight on a completely different level that they weren't even aware was possible. This could be a mentor, or just a more experienced user of the power system in your story. Ask yourself, what specifically can't my character do right now? Why does that matter for the upcoming conflict? Is the gap large enough that closing it feels like a real, meaningful achievement? Is it personal enough that the audience cares about more than just the power increase? Step 2. Give the training a cost. Free power-ups are boring. They're the cheapest thing a writer can offer the audience. If the character trains for a week and comes out stronger with no downsides, the audience yawns. Training should cost something. Time, relationships, physical health, emotional stability, safety, something real. The training could take months while the character misses a critical event back home. The method itself could be physically destructive and leave permanent marks or lasting damage on the body. It might force the character to confront something they've been avoiding, a memory, a truth about themselves, a choice they regret. Or it might mean isolating from the people they care about, and that distance creates real tension in their relationships. The cost serves two purposes. First, it makes the power feel earned. The audience sees what the character paid and thinks, yeah, they deserve this. Second, it creates drama within the training arc itself. If there's no cost, the training is just waiting. The audience is watching a character go through motions they know will end in success, and that's the definition of boring. If there's a cost, the training has stakes, and stakes are what make every scene in a story worth watching. The best training arcs make you wonder whether the character is going to make it through the training, not just whether they'll be strong enough afterward. The training itself should feel dangerous, not guaranteed. Ask yourself, what is my character losing or risking by doing this training? Is the audience aware of the cost? Does the cost create genuine tension during the training, not just before and after? Step 3. Use a mentor. Most training arcs involve a mentor figure, someone who pushes the character, teaches them, and represents a standard they're trying to reach. The mentor is a great tool, but they need to be handled carefully. The best mentors challenge the character's entire mindset. They say things the character doesn't want to hear. They push buttons. They force the character to confront the real reason they're stuck, which is almost never just, you need to train harder. It's usually a flaw in how the character thinks, fights, or relates to the world. The mentor should also have limits. If the mentor is perfect, all-knowing, and infinitely patient, they become a plot device, not a character. Give the mentor their own struggles. Their teaching method could be effective, but brutal. They might be dealing with their own failures and seeing a version of themselves in this student. They might disagree with the character on something fundamental, and that disagreement creates real friction during the training. And this part matters a lot. The mentor should never be able to solve the character's problem for them. The moment the mentor looks like they could just handle it themselves, the training loses all purpose. If the mentor could defeat the villain themselves, then why are they training the student? The mentor needs a reason they can't do it. Age, injury, a philosophical opposition to fighting, a different responsibility they can't abandon. There has to be a clear reason the burden falls on the student, not the teacher. Ask yourself, does my mentor challenge the character beyond just physical training? Does the mentor have their own flaws and limitations? Is there a clear reason the mentor can't solve the problem themselves? Step 4. Show failure during the training. This is the step that separates a training arc the audience loves from one they skip through. The character has to fail during the training. Not once, multiple times. They try the technique and it blows up in their face. They push too hard and their body gives out. They face a mental barrier and can't break through for days. Weeks. Failure does two things. It makes the eventual success feel earned because the audience watched the character fall down 5 times before standing up the 6th. And it creates real tension because the audience starts to wonder if the character is actually going to make it. When the training is nothing but progress, there's no drama. It's a straight line up. But when the training is progress, failure, frustration, breakthrough, failure again, second breakthrough, now you've got a story within the story. The failures should also reveal character. How does your protagonist handle frustration? Do they lash out? Go quiet? Double down recklessly? Blame the mentor? Try to quit? Walk away for a day and come back pretending it didn't bother them? Their response to failure tells the audience more about who they are than any amount of success ever could. The audience learns the truth about a person not in the moments they succeed, but in the moments they fall short and have to decide what to do next. Use the failures as character-building moments, not just obstacles. Ask yourself, does my character fail during training? And does the audience see it? Do the failures reveal something about the character's personality or flaws? Is there a moment during the training where the audience genuinely wonders if the character is going to succeed? Step 5. Make the breakthrough thematic. This is the final piece, and it's the one that elevates a training arc from good to great. By thematic, I mean using the theme of your story. The moment the character finally breaks through shouldn't just be a physical accomplishment. It should be a thematic one that ties their internal struggle to everything the training was building toward. The breakthrough should directly connect to the character's internal arc. If the character's flaw is that they try to do everything alone, the breakthrough should come from finally accepting help or learning to rely on trust. If their flaw is fear, the breakthrough should come from choosing to face the thing they've been running from. If their flaw is that they fight out of anger, the breakthrough should come from finding a different reason to fight. The physical power-up is the visible result, but the real breakthrough is the mental and emotional shift that made it possible. And when those two things align, when the character unlocks the new technique at the exact moment they overcome their internal flaw, the audience doesn't just see a power-up, they see growth. Real, earned, permanent character growth. And that's what they'll remember. The worst training arcs end with, I trained hard enough and now I'm stronger. The best training arcs end with, I finally understood something about myself, and that understanding unlocked everything. Ask yourself, what internal shift allows my character to break through? Does the breakthrough moment connect to their flaw or their personal arc? If I described the training arc to someone focusing only on the emotional journey, would it still be a satisfying story without the action? In conclusion, those are the 5 steps. Establish the gap, give the training a cost, use the mentor wisely, show failure during the process, and make the breakthrough thematic. A great training arc is one of the most satisfying things in all of shonen storytelling. It's the kind of sequence that makes the audience rewatch, reread, and remember it long after the story is over. When the character steps onto the battlefield after the training, and the audience can feel every drop of sweat, every failure, every sacrifice that got them there, the fight doesn't even have to be that long. The work is already done. The training arc made the audience believe, and belief is the most powerful thing a writer can create. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to get started writing your first one-shot manga, head over to mangascript.com to download the one-shot guide. It's a page-by-page breakdown of 3 high-quality manga one-shots, and it makes it 10 times easier to write your own script. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with fellow creators. Thanks for watching!